Hello, gorgeous souls. Happy Thursday. If you guys did not catch my post on my personal profile, I had a deer in my yard this morning, so what better motivation than having wildlife wander through your yard, especially when that has to do with my end goal is becoming a sustainable homestead owner and having a little like supply store for a small town somewhere out in the boondocks and do my spiritual entrepreneurship as well as my store ownership. So a little bit physical, a little bit metaphysical, if you will, business plan. So that is perfect for today. Hi, Holly. How's it going? Say hello as you guys pop on, and replay viewers also say hello. It's super important for me to know who's here. So it brings me perfectly to my whole framework here for our first action plan day, which is to figure out what that end goal is. Like I said, mine is kind of a homestead ranch that's self-sustaining, that I can work with clients and have a meditation space, have a retreat space, Airbnb type of situation going on, and be able to serve people from an online point of view as well as physical. So that's my personal end goal, and what I'm going to have you guys do today is really reverse engineer that to kind of a step-by-step plan. Excuse me. I'm having some like throat issues, obviously. So what I am getting at here is, you know, I've got this end goal, and it has to do with a physical product as well as a spiritual service-based project. So what I am doing with this is reverse engineering it to what you have now. What do you have available to you right now that you can offer? So for me personally, I started playing with tarot cards in like 2013, but my intuitive journey started in about 2008 when I started reading self-help books, Eckhart Tolle, Wayne Dyer, Law of Attraction with Abraham Hicks, things like that. But it really evolved when I started realizing like, oh, okay, all of this stuff that I'm doing to transform myself into who I want to be and develop myself into who I want to be can actually be offered to other people, especially since I had my tarot cards for several years now. But at the time, for a couple years, and I was like, you know, I can just start offering this as a service to other people. So I started with that. I also did jewelry, you guys. So I sat and beaded jewelry together with little teeny tiny little size 15 beads, making jewelry, and realized that wasn't really going to be my key to millionaire minds, if that makes sense. So, you know, spending 15 hours to get $15 out of a little tiny piece of jewelry was not really working, for obvious reasons. And so I went to the more spiritual aspect, which got me a lot of backlash just in my personal circle, because people thought I was really crazy. They were just kind of like, you're talking gibberish, nobody here understands what you're talking about. And that's when I really found that online space of groups and found that circle of support online. So we're going to talk about that quite a bit more. But I really had to transform into this new way of being that other people did not necessarily agree with. So you're going to want to facilitate those things if that's what your intuition is calling you to do. And mind you, you guys, this is where I am now. After quitting my job, I quit my 9-to-5, well, 6:30 to 3 for being exact, but it was a 9-hour-a-day job, cushy salary, $2,000 a month. And I just dropped it. I just was like, if I get too comfortable here, I could be here for 15 or 30 years. And how old am I going to be by the time I get to my ranch? And my fear, like my overall life fear, is to be too old to run my ranch by the time I get there. So a lot of people told me all the time, just stick with this job, you know, just stay in that 9-to-5 until you retire, and then retire to your ranch and start a business then. And I was like, start a business after retirement? Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? To me, that was just kind of like totally not in alignment at all. Hi, Christina. How's it going, love? So my whole idea here is to reverse engineer that. So I was thinking about what products I'm going to have, what services am I going to offer at my end goal, right? And it just evolved from jewelry on the counter that people can try on and wear, clothing that's kind of a thrift stop cut vibe that people can wear. So I started doing these things. I started making jewelry. I started collecting thrift store clothing, which I do not recommend completely, because I ended up with a really big closet full of things and a large inventory, right, that I couldn't really push at the time, working part-time, full-time, and then trying to have this project income on the side, right? I did network marketing. I'm not against network marketing. I think they teach a lot of really amazing stuff. I was in one in 2012. I went to Millionaire Minds seminar. I was able to travel with the company. I was able to go weekly to self-development classes, which were free to me because I was in the group, you know, in the community. So I definitely think there's a place for network marketing. I just evolved out of that, which I feel like is most people's goal anyway when they have that network marketing vehicle, because that's just like a little rocket ship to get you to that end goal, right? So there's so many avenues, but what I want you guys to really hone in on is what part of those projects or services or offers that you have in your midst right now can really speak to that end goal, and what really invoke that excitement towards that end goal. Because that's what we really want to hone in on and tune into, is that excitement piece, because that's a really big part of law of attraction, is having that excitement and anticipation of what's coming and what's on its way. Right? So when you can go get fired up at meetings, when you can read a book that really excites you to move forward, and when you can collect these different experiences, like I said, jewelry and thrift stop clothes and all of these things that didn't quite work, but they were still exciting me, right? So it wasn't a waste of time. It wasn't a waste of money. It was still products and things that I want to have someday, one day. And now I have an attic full of inventory for the one day that I open a little mom and pop shop, right? But right now, what really called to me was this spiritual entrepreneurship and going online and finding services to offer online, such as this Akashic Records course that I graduated from, and now I'm a certified practitioner of the Akashic Records, and I'm now able to teach that. So again, that starts on August 13th. So I will drop a link in this after I'm done. I actually might be able to just copy and paste it. So that looks like, as I said yesterday, it's all about that art of allowing and really getting into that meditative space where knowledge is, and it's universal knowledge. So it's this ability to tap into universal knowledge. It's where I go when I'm pulling tarot cards. It's kind of this space, right, where it's this space between particles, as Einstein put it. So make sure I'm going to pin that comment. So that'll be the first comment that we see on here, which is good. So it's a space where you can go to bring back information for yourself and for clients, and it's certified to do that for yourself and clients. So it's like Reiki, but more of just tapping into a universal space of knowing and bringing that information back to then translate to your clients and to other people. So if that calls to you, like I said, it starts on August 13th, and that link that I gave you is just the spreadsheet of what we will be doing, and it's a rundown of everything that we will go over and the practices and requirements and things that you'll need. So check that out if you feel called. Like I said, took my visualizations and abilities from like a 5 to a 10, and I thought I was at a 10 to start with, but now that I have transformed into a brand new state of abilities, it's just kind of like blown my mind. So definitely check that out. But moving forward, the next step here, other than offering what services you have in the now, we also have the big how, right? And this is where everybody gets kind of stepped up, because we have this end goal, we have where we are now, and then there's this in-between space. Am I right? So we have to get these offers into people's hands. And I'm not commending people who have jewelry or thrift store clothes or MLM products to push. I think that's wonderful and great and amazing, especially if it excites you towards your end goal. Then it's absolutely doing the best thing it can for you. But we have to have a way to get it into people's hands. So for MLM, not MMM, for example, you know, a lot of times when you bring a new person to one of those weekly meetings, for example, they'll have a big line of free products, right? If it's a milkshake company, Shakeology, something like this, they're going to have free products that people can try, and I want you guys to really facilitate that. And that's why I put in parentheses, you might not like what this is, because it's kind of free samples or free taste tests. So for my first, I'll say 3 years of having my tarot cards, I did not make a dime, but I was practicing. And I was practicing getting into that space of the Akashic Records and really bringing information back and giving that to my client, which just was my friends and family. But I was really enjoying my time, and I was really memorizing my cards, and I was really tapping into what each card meant and having all of these different meanings for the same card depending on who I'm pulling it for. So I ended up going to girls' nights and ended up giving several readings in one day, feeling drained. And you know what? It worked out just fine, because here I am now, and I'm just simply not going to do free readings anymore because I've already realized what my cards can do, and I have that sense of confidence behind what it is I'm doing and what I'm offering. So I want you guys to make sure that once you have this product or service, and MLM will teach you this a lot, and this is why I think MLM is so productive, is because it teaches you to have this amount of faith and trust in the product. But when that product is something that you offer that just comes from the heart, right, this healing modalities or ability to do readings for others, just for example, I think we have a lot of readers and healers in here, but once it comes from you and it's not a product from somebody else, you'll actually see a momentum happen, because people are a little turned off just by the fact that you're selling and in sales for a product. So like I said, it's a vehicle, and I love that everybody, whoever is in MLM, I think it's wonderful. I just recommend for all of you guys to get your personal brand, your personal end goal, your personal brand and face, and I'm trying to think of a specific word, but just your publicity to be absolutely parallel, 100% yin and yang to that company. So if you want to be in healthcare and you have a Shakeology business over here, that works just fine. Or mom products like cleaning supplies, and you want to have a mom blog, that works absolutely flawlessly, right? So just making sure that that is in line and it matches perfectly to what it is that you want to do. Then, you know, flawless moving forward, and I love it. So the third step was, again, you're going to have to offer some things for free in order to get those services and offers and products into the hands of your ideal client. And moving forward with that, you also will need to invest in yourself. So as they say, quote unquote, you have to spend money to make money. Somebody's parked outside my house. So this can mean investing in the Shakeology business, for example. This can mean investing in a coach, which I don't recommend doing right out the gate, because I think there's a lot of things you can do before you get to this point of investing. But when I'm talking about right in the beginning investing, I'm actually talking about time. There's so many free services out there, classes you can take, courses you can enroll in that might be small investments. I wouldn't suggest just going and hiring a $10,000 coach right as you decide what you want to do. I would say invest in courses that come with a certificate, or courses that give you a sense of accomplishment when you leave that course, and you can go reteach again and again. So this could be Reiki, Akashic Records, like I mentioned. There's so many different astrology and just so many different modalities that you can use. even just in your area. We have a little Wiccan store down the street that we go to classes to that don't necessarily come with any kind of certificate, but I'm there to network, right? And I'm there to find people in my community that really jive with what I'm doing. So I would put that on one of these next steps too, is just really jiving with people who are of like mind. Because like I said, when I first started doing tarot readings, the people in my space, in my immediate circle, were just like, what are you talking about? You're going to read from some cloud in the sky and just tell me my future? Like, it was just a foreign concept, right? Which can happen to all of us. Let's get real. Even if you have a service-based business or offers that are client-based or products that are physical, people are going to think that you are nuts if you're not just going with the dull 9 to 5, let's just go step by step here and do everything as it's been laid out since kindergarten, right? So when you go against the grain, people are going to be against or feel like they are against you, but that's not necessarily always going to be the case. It's just simply that it's against what they know, and so you might feel a little bit like a fish out of water here. And that's why it's important to have these groups and these support communities where everyone can kind of understand from a perspective of their own. So it's this like-mind perspective. So I'll just go ahead and review these one more time, and then it'll be kind of a short video. So the first one being, and this is all before you start charging for your services. This is just kind of finding what it is that you want to do, finding your passion, and then reverse engineering it into steps. And this is just the first Thursday video. So this is going to evolve completely into just like one-on-one business coaching every Thursday. So I'm really excited to be here and to be offering that as a service. So the first one being, what is your end goal? And where do you see yourself kind of in like 20 years? Where do you see yourself really retiring at? And like I said, for me, it's a homestead where I can have elk and deer roaming around, and cows and pigs and goats roaming around, and chickens and bunnies running around, as well as children, and have a whole experience so that people can come and really enjoy that space and work their keep and ride horses all they want and have excursions to go to, Airbnb to stay in. And it's a whole vibe that I really have been creating since I was like 7. Right? So really tap into what that is for you. And if you're having trouble with that, just reach out to me, because I have different ways, services that will get you to that point and really help with that visualization. And then the second being what you have now to offer people at either a price or for free. And the third being offer it for free first. So get those offers into the hands of your client with whatever it takes, and don't be in lack mentality when you have to give something away for free. Because I was kind of in that for, like I said, my first 3 years of tarot cards. I was just like, you know, I might have to read between the lines sometimes. I might have to open the book a couple of times, but I'm really putting effort into this. I don't see why I should have to do it for free. And it kind of got into this lack mentality, like, why should I have to do that, like that type of mentality. And it really didn't serve me in the long run. Because I really should have and am now, up until recently, was just in this space of, I'm going to offer this because it lights me up. And I'm going to offer this because I feel like this is my vehicle. So whether that be MLM, jewelry making, just steps in that right direction, right? So I see jewelry in my future, but that's more of a hobby for me than like making my fingers bleed to make enough to create an income. So to me, that's still a really profitable and very big potential of an avenue. But for me, I'm just kind of veering into what I can do now that's going to be a real money-making activity when I complete it. So that was me investing in Akashic Records. I've invested in 2 or 3 different business courses, including the college campus near me. I've had 2 years of business experience in college classes, and then also business courses from coaches online. And I can't really tell you which one is better, quote unquote, because the business college was teaching me about corporations and how the government works and all of this history, right? And I tapped into so much of that history, and that really unlocked a lot of things for me. And then going online and learning from coaches, you learn about how to market on social media and with YouTube, and it's a little bit more two-tiered. It's multiple levels, right? So that was very informational as well, because I felt more one-on-one, and that I could work with people just by typing them a message and gaining that strength from them that I had an option to do in business school, but it was way more independent, which there's good and bad to both sides. So that's the whole idea of investing and investing in yourself once the direction has been made. Once I decided I want to own my own business, that's when I just enrolled in classes to be a sole proprietor, right? And you have to learn how to register as an LLC or Inc. or whatever. So then the next one being, once you have your services kind of laid out, you're going to need to get those into the hands of people, and that can look like many different things. But I would start with giving it away for free, because what you need is testimonials, and really gathering those testimonials of, I worked with this person, it worked like this is what I gained, this is what I had as far as insight, this person is really good at reading intuitively, I recommend. And you want to save those up and be able to post those in a public eye so that people can see you facilitate change, you facilitate transformation, and go from there. So that's a really good big step. And then next week on this same topic, we will go into more of charging for your services, investing, and how much to invest versus how much you make type of things. We can do like a cash flow type worksheet. We'll have a lot of Thursday magic coming. So tune in next Thursday for business coaching. Tomorrow is our freebie day, so I'll be giving free readings rather than coaching. And I will make sure that I put in my descriptions that as you guys are hopping on and as I'm riffing on these topics each day, I am available to be giving coaching as I go. So if you guys have questions, pop your questions in the comments, and I will be sure to one-on-one answer those in the order that I receive them. So be sure to be tuning in at noon. I will post the poll like I mentioned I would to see if noon is the best time for everybody, or if everybody's on their lunch breaks. I know I'm in Mountain Standard, so I'm not sure what time it is in Eastern and Pacific, which seems to be the more communal time frame. So I will check that out. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Freebie Friday. That also means that you guys are available to post your offers, free or just epic offers. You guys can use this space to network with one another. So we'll start that as of tomorrow, and I will see you all then. Love you all dearly. Have a wonderful day.